Ziyaltat, Kilame, what your stove, in cocaine, oh Mandela, in cocaine, oh Sisulu, in cocaine, oh Johnny,
Rafael Kekana itlakopili mchana. Rafael Kakena. Rafael Kekana raunyaka mon.
Ausialtat, Imis, Zelsialtat, Belagit, Ausialtat, Imis, Ausialtat, Belagit, Ausialtat, Yamasa, Ausialtat, Yamasa, Alpelavant, Belagit, Wapelavant, it's so weird. Wapelavant, it's a bit.
Bathi hlasenyuka nomthwalo ngemhlane. Amadoda athi dlambili ubeletheni ngemhlane. Angatsho yona indaba athi ubelethe ubukhahlo abe abelethe amathumbe endoda. Bathi udlambili ingagaru emdwadwakazana eyahlamba idlanza neinyawo isihla nomlambo. Ingidi ngekomdibane yadla amanyagwana. Ngusala kugoduka, ngusala kubuye ekhaya, ngusala kumenyezwa amakhosi. Bathi udlambili ngumajama ngezakhe abanye bajame ngezobele, ngungqondo beza ngudela amadoda sigaja sikapemva kupemva amambala ngodaka. Udlambili bathi inkobe zamahlahle ezamila edwaleni. Zamila edwaleni elikhulu lakwaDlambili. Bathi udlambili ikomo eyayamasiso kwaPondo yaya ihlaba beyibuyisa ihlaba ibuyele ekhaya kwamakorondebele. Udlambili nguye unqondobeza, nguye udela amadoda, nguye usigaja sikapemvu. Dlambili masilela sathokoza. Unganze sekelave langeni nang PS sela kwane tibongo takamasilela takangwana gogo
no les masilela Vunganze muntu fukapi majinjini nezindlovu nezingwenyama msekelave wena wasekela live lingasekela imvudlana lencane umkhemezelwane lingathi kheme sekwenene
To say Africa, 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 break chains that burn your brawn.
And that myth is that I am an author. Their lives, their histories, their fears, and also their expectations of what the future ought to look like. For two major reasons. June 16, 1984 was a very sad day for the Masilelas. It was a very sad day for the George Ramudzulis. George Ramudzuli is an operative, a comrade, a friend, a brother who perished in Bethel. Perished under a bomb that went very wrong. The last time George Ramudzuli, whom we knew passionately as Ukeli, left home and said, I am going to South Africa. I will see you in a short while. Today you are still waiting. George Ramudzuli left Triloni Park a very angry man. George Ramudzuli Ukeli left number 43 a very bitter man. We haven't been able to resolve that bitterness to this very day. However, June is not such a horrible month for the Masilela family. June also brings forth hope for the Masilela family. We also would like to believe that it brings hope to the region at large. June 25 and 26 was an historic occasion. Historic to both South Africans and Swazis. Political and non-political. Rich and poor. Angry and happy. June 25 and 26, 2004, marked the coming together of two societies who were divided for so many years, not by a border, not by a river, not by a mountain, but were divided by fear. Were divided by a horrific animal that forced people to distrust one another. A fierce institution that would leave no stone unturned. An institution that caused a lot of our brothers and sisters to perish, to disappear, and to change their allegiance to family. That is the institution of apartheid. On June 24, 25, 26, 2004, Swaziland hosted what is now known as the ANC cleansing ceremony. For the first time Swazis and South Africans came together under one roof, celebrated one thing, celebrated freedom, celebrated togetherness, identified for the first time that they depended on each other. This was a great day for the Masilela family. Because in 1994, 10 years earlier, the Masilela family shifted into loneliness. A state of mind that was not new to the Masilela family, but in this particular case, it was extremely unique. This loneliness was brought about by the departure of all the brothers, sisters, comrades, and friends who walked away from Swaziland for South Africa in celebration of the independence of South Africa. The Masilela family was lonely. People may be asking themselves, what is he talking about? Why is he telling us all this? I am telling you this because it defines the book that some of us have read. It defines the history that some of us have made. It defines the past that I have documented on behalf of everybody around here. People have asked me, what is this book about? My answer to that question was, and has always been, it's not a book in politics. It's not a book in military strategy. It is a book that looks at the softer side of the liberation struggle of South Africa. It is a book that looks at the human element of the struggle of South Africa. It is a book that does not talk about the prominent people that you read about, that you hear about every day in the news. It's about the ordinary person who was caught up in the struggle of liberation for South Africa. I will appeal to everyone who reads this book, don't read it as a novel. It is not a novel. It is a book that challenges you, a book that says to you, what do you understand of the past and how do you want to contribute into the future? When you read this book, read it as a jigsaw. It has all sorts of issues that it raises, but it doesn't provide any answers. It doesn't answer why people disappeared. It doesn't answer why people died. It does not answer what the future bears for us. It leaves all that to the experiences of people with number 43. It leaves all that to the reader. Please help me rewrite this history. Please help me solve this jigsaw. It's a fantastic jigsaw if you're on the right side of the fence. It's a depressing jigsaw if you're on the other side of the fence. Some people may argue the book is harsh. Other people may argue the book is objective. It depends on which side of the fence you stand. Earlier on, somebody said to me, Elias, I was told that this book is about Tinganegwane. I agreed, yes, it is about Tinganegwane. It depends on how you interpret the book. I am not going to tell you the stories that are in the book. I will leave you to go and read those stories. It starts off with a fascinating hypothesis, a controversial hypothesis, a hypothesis that I'm not hoping to resolve in my lifetime, but it's a hypothesis worthwhile to push out into the public. The hypothesis is a very simple one. What the book does, it compares number 43 with Lily's Leaf Farm and argues that these two properties contributed to the liberation of South Africa. In the same breath, however, it concludes that number 43 contributed much, much more than Lily's Leaf. You can imagine how controversial that is. What I don't do in the book is go through a technical or an academic exercise to try and prove that hypothesis. I leave that proving of the hypothesis or rejection thereof to the reader. If you accept the hypothesis, it's the end of the story. However, if you disagree with the hypothesis, you are giving me an opportunity to write a second and third book. I leave that to you to determine whether a second book is the route to go. That is my story on number 43. Please go and enjoy the experience. However, before I stand down, I need to thank or recognize a few people. I am told that the MC is going to thank the sponsors, is going to thank those corporates amongst us who put their trust behind this project and committed themselves to a table of memories. Therefore, I am not going to thank those sponsors at this stage. I will leave it to the MC to do. I would like to recognize a very old friend of mine who at some point in our lives at number 43, we could easily identify as an aggressive friend. This is none other than James Vilagati. James Vilagati is a policeman who worked from Manzini, ended up in London, came back, and unfortunately James Vilagati is no longer. James Vilagati left an indelible mark in my heart. He made a clear separation between the responsibility of a police officer and the responsibility of a human being. When he was in uniform, doing his work, he did it thoroughly. When he was out of uniform and engaging with society, he also did it thoroughly. He was a fantastic friend to me. I would like to thank the Salesians who saved my profession. People have asked me, Elias, what is your best chapter in the book? That's the kind of question that gets asked authors. I don't know why it was posed at me. And this chapter is chapter 29 in the book, those of us who have it. It is entitled The Golden Age of Salesian. Read it and you'll understand why it is entitled as such. I would like to thank the people of Swaziland on behalf of the Masilela family. I would like to thank the leadership of Swaziland. In particular, I would like to thank the residents of Trelawney Park, who embraced us the day we landed in Trelawney Park in 1965, and they continue to this very day. This was in spite of difficulties that we went through. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, who is amongst us today, who is also an activist, was part of an initiative to turn around the governance structure of the country. Together, we were able to establish the first Ratepayers Association in the country. and that changed the governance structure of Swaziland forever. When I look back to my experiences in Triloni Park, I can only see positive. It is these positives that made me to write this book. There were difficult times, there were bad times, however, the positives override entirely all the negatives that we've seen. Recently, we have been surprised, pleasantly surprised as the Masilela family, with the embrace that we got from the Swaziland government. When we planned this event, it was a mere book launch, which was expected to attract 25 or 30 people. Somewhere in some dark corner in Manzini. But all of a sudden, this small idea has turned out into a fantastic event like this one, which necessarily, given the people amongst us, given the people who are gracing this occasion today, for it to qualify as a national event. We would like to thank the leadership of Swaziland for having identified this as an important project that they need to associate with. In the afternoon, the Minister of Enterprises said something that worried the Masilela family. Even though it was exciting, he said, given the history that has been written and that has been made by this house, number 43, it makes sense for the Masilelas to relinquish authority over it, hand it over to the state, and let it be declared a national monument. Whether we agree with the minister or not, those words are profound. Those words are significant. Those words cannot be ignored. If this house is truly a house that can be equated to Lily's Leaf Farm, the minister has vision. Thank you very much.
Please give the author, Ulambili Unzuza, a another big hand of applause, please. He's done very well, and he's accepting the challenge to write another book, yet another book. Okay, and now I will ask him to call the comrades to the stage.
Thank you, Chair. My apologies. I forgot something I had to do whilst I was standing here. It is not only the Masilelas that made the history. It is not only the Masilelas that helped the history to be written. In that regard, I have been requested to ask all the people who've operated from Swaziland, in particular those who operated from number 43, to stand up and be recognized by this house. This is not only limited to South Africans, it is also exposed to Swazis who actually stuck out their necks and risked their lives for the liberation of South Africa.
Tambo wet, pocket, tambo wet,
Zukumani man.
pocket, tambo wet, pocket, outsialtat, ilis, zelsialtat, belagit, outsialtat, ilis, outsialtat, belagit, Ausialtat, Yamasa. Ausialtat, Yamasa. Aupelavat, Wilagit. Apelavat, it's a whip. Apelavat, it's a whip. Ausialtat, Wilagit. Ausialtat, Kilame. Ujang Kanye. Ujang Kanye. Apelavat, Wilagit. Apelavat.
Is Raphael here? Raphael Kekana?
Lochani. Bukhona magegana about 3-4 ba ba leng gona ka mo gare ka mo ba ke ba dumang ba ka ba mo kgausi le nna ke bo ithata. I'm sorry I can't speak Swazi, I can't speak the Ndebele that you can simply understand, but I've got great fear standing in front of you today here. So there are about 2 or 3 kekanas who I would like to request to come in front to accompany me whilst I'm gonna say that praise Mbongo for the kekanas. Where are the others? Ke lebitse ka mabitso. Ke tla lebitsa ka mabitso. Ebele onke ase Afrika singa mandebele onke ase Afrika ekhethu kwamkombane kwalanga masebeke kana obovu wete shogote mandebele ekhethu kwamkombane kwalanga masibike kana obovu wete shogote mandebele mante mane asangene nkundleni mante mane asangene nkundleni te podudo te moshate bakomana vomane